Line up, you fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line, we are live. We're talking UFC Vegas 76. I'm AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's happening, brother?
I'm good, bro. Doing well now that AJ decided to match me today. He had to get the gray going. So just to mix it up, I know everybody's a fan of the sunglasses. We're gonna keep it going, bro. We'll keep it going today.
I like the shades, Mike. And you know what's funny? Last week I told you I almost wore the same shirt as you for Bare. It was the bare knuckle shirt. So it's like 2
now
weeks
today you had to fucking come through with it, huh?
I got called to gray. I don't know how to. I don't know. I just must have known you were wearing it or something like that. It's good luck.
Gray was the move today, my friend.
It was.
Hey, fun fights over
Yes.
the weekend.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Brendan Allen. We could start there. Holy
Let's
shit,
talk
man!
about that.
Another submission for him. It's a big deal. I mean, that was a big win for Brendan Allen. Glad that part of the parlay came through. Obviously, we'll talk about what happened with the Tafa fight, but Brendan Allen, big time performance.
Listen, Brendan Allen's striking is very dangerous, and he's got solid jiu-jitsu. He finally got past someone with big knockout power, and I feel like sky's the limit. He's just in a weird spot because you look at that landscape of middleweight, there's a lot of fucking killers there. How do you feel about Imagulov versus Brendan Allen if the UFC decides not to put Chris Curtis in that fight with Imagulov running it back?
I like it. Imagulov has such control of distance. He did so well sort of just stomping on that knee. He is actually just touching that knee. He wasn't really killing Chris Curtis's knee. He's got to get a little more mean with that. A little bit of John Jones streak in him when he attacks that knee.
Streak.
You know what I mean? Just stomp that shit, I was training my guy Kevin, and I was telling him, man, we just got to stomp people's knees. You can't do this thing where you just kind of touch like Wonder Boy does. We're out there fighting for $50,000 or whatever the win bonus is. Like, we got to go get it, right? So, no, it's I think that's a really good fight. I would love to see that matchup.
I'm down for that. I feel like it makes a lot of sense in the weight class. If they're trying to really push him up, another name that came to mind to me was Kutateladze, who's coming off of a, semi-controversial decision loss to Vettori. That could be a really cool fight. We'll see what the UFC wants to do. Regardless, Brendan Allen's a game player in that top 15, and he's got a tricky style for a lot of those guys at the back end. I know we spoke about, the likes of Jared Cannonier and, Israel Adesanya. Obviously, I like that he's got, the mind at the top, but he needs to beat a couple more savages before we start talking about him in the top 5.
He's on his way up there, though. I mean, he's looking better than ever. So big time performance by him. Good call on the submission. And man, we got that one anyway. Yeah. David Onama. Fucking big comeback, dude. Comeback, I say, because it wasn't going that well for him, man. And he was, he was on the wrong end of a lot of strikes. He was under a lot of pressure. He was able to find the shot.
You know what? With Onama, his athleticism is off the charts, and he's got that knockout power gift. Santos, I'm telling you right now, I said it in the recap show. I think he's got a bright future in mixed martial arts. The ground transitions were sick. The stand-up is solid. It's just David Onama. It's almost like he's more grown into his body than Santos. Santos only 26. He's still a young guy, and obviously everybody peaks differently. Toporia's 26 too, but he has more the frame of like a true grown man. With Santos, we talked about his picture, right, on Tapology, and his face. He looks like he could be 13 in those pics. So he's still, kind of looks like a kid out there. I think in the matter of 3 years, Gabriel Santos is still going to be high level, and Onama's really good. He's one of those guys with the gift of power, and he's got unbreakable will. He doesn't quit. And also, he's with Mark Montoya, I believe, new gym. He's not with James Krause any longer. I think he looked good. I'm impressed. I like Onama. He's fun to watch, and if he hits anybody at 45, he can put their lights out.
That's for sure. But, you know, you're talking about Santos being a kid, that's true. But, dude, he was bullying Onama. I really thought he was beating Onama's ass. It was just a matter of, like, the only gear he had was forward. There was a moment there where he got clipped. It was before the uppercut. I forget what the punch was, but he got clipped. And what does he do? He stumbles forward. It's like sometimes you need to be able to float back. You need to be able to have that sort of back step, the one that, you know, is constantly used by great karate fighters, the one that, you know, we just talked about him, Imavov, you know, the one where, you know, you could just sort of get yourself out of harm's way. That's what he needed, man. He was just a hair too aggressive. If he's just a little more technical, I think he could have beaten Onama there. Obviously showed us a lot though, and you know he's definitely a guy I'll be keeping my eye on. On the other side, obviously big knockout for Onama. Yeah, he's got power, and that was only the second round, so he had a whole other round to try to find that. It's just, you know, that Gabriel Santos kid is a fucking problem. All right, let's talk about it. Tafa, me and you were in on Tafa heavy.
All in.
We were loving Tafa line, and then Austin Lane sticks his whole finger. I'm talking about the nail. We're not talking about like the first bit of that. We're talking about gouged this man's brain out.
Why eye gouging is illegal. That's it right there. That's it right there. That's scary, man. Eye gouging is one of the scariest combat techniques, period. And obviously it's banned amongst combat sports for good reason, because Tafa's eye was completely shut afterwards and he was blind out of it. Obviously the fight could not have continued, and I was grateful that they didn't somehow coerce Tafa into fighting, because like for a moment it looked like they might let him, and I'm like, wait, he's blind. Like don't.
It was obvious to us watching. Why wasn't it obvious to the referee, the doctor? He's literally like, I can't see. They're like, wait 5 minutes. Just give it 5 minutes, kid. Just wait. It's like 3 minutes, and he's like, I cannot see. I'm bleeding out of my eye. I need to go to the hospital. He didn't say that part, but it's like they should know that. Why are they pushing him so hard? They looked at the replay. The dude was freaking, you know, about where you put your ring. That's how deep he was in Tafa's eyes. It's like, guys, call the fight. So some poor refereeing there, I thought, from Big Dan Murgliata, and that doctor's a jackass. I mean, for him not to call that fight, I can't see, you wave the fight. As soon as you hear that, every fighter knows what those words mean.
When I can't see is all right, fight over, no problem. I thought that was common play, because I've always heard never say you can't see or the fight's guaranteed to be stopped. But if Tafa would have decided to change his mind, they maybe would have let him keep going. And thankfully that didn't happen, because we were all in on Tafa, and, you know, unfortunately didn't get to find out what the lock of the week for me was going to bring, because we got a no contest. Lane right now is not going to get a rebooking versus Tafa, so I expect him to be booked here in the coming months against somebody, probably a guy who could replace someone jumping in on short notice. I don't know what to expect from Lane. I'll tell you something. I liked the body kick before the eye gouge. I mean, it was a good kick. We'll give him some credit there, right? That was nice, but we have no idea. I'd love to see the rebooking, but I just think Lane's going to be ready to fight a lot sooner than Tafa. Like, I don't know how serious the eye injury is.
It looked like one of the most gruesome eye pokes I've ever seen. And in watching the sport of mixed martial arts for the last 20 years, I could tell you that is a lot of eye pokes I get to choose from. Dude, that was a bad one. Tafa, chill, man. Chill.
Yeah.
I'm so glad there wasn't any crazy. I thought detached retina. I don't know if you remember Randy Couture and Vitor Belfort when he scratched his cornea. Like, I thought it was going to be that bad. So terrible no contest. And then also fucked up my parlay with Tatsuro Taira and Clayton Rodriguez not fighting. So, I mean, I had the Brendan Allen one. I wish the rest of the parlay would have actually come through for you guys, but it's not the fighter's fault, man. It's just Tafa got fucking eye gouged, and Clayton didn't get his shot.
Yeah, that's just unfortunately how it goes in this game sometimes, man, with the open hand gloves. So especially Lane, I don't want to call him a novice, but, you know, for UFC level, he's newer to the top end, and you know, he clawed him early. Is what it is.
Yeah.
They move forward. Next fight, though, co-main event, the girls really put it all on the line here. Amanda Ribas and Barber went to war, and Ribas had moments early. Both their noses were swelling and bloody. You love to see the ladies throw down like that. And then for Barbara to finish it off the way that she did, in my opinion, was super impressive to show the evolution of her game. Like, she's a cold-blooded killer right now. And I feel like, we kind of remember her talking about being youngest champ. No, like now her winning, I'm not, she's not going to be youngest champ. That's over with. And I'm glad, but I still think Maycee Barber has the makings of someone that could challenge for a world title. Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just to compliment the fight, AJ. I mean, these two ladies went to war, man. Ribas, it started going south for her. She got busted with that elbow. Remember, it was an elbow that opened her up on the fence. Good job, Maycee Barber on the fence. Even rewinding a little bit, when Ribas was coming out and her dad was hyping her up and she was hyped up, it's like, man, they are ready to go to war. And thank goodness, because that's exactly what it was. They had to both dig deep. And the toughness of Ribas, the toughness of Maycee Barber. I can name a lot of male fights where you didn't see that type of toughness, So big respect to these two women. Both were bleeding out of their nose. Both were really having to bite down on their mouthpiece and go to war here. And it was one of those things where, it's just like watching from the outside. I'm like, oh my God, I would hate to be in a fight like this. Fights like that are why I don't fight. It's like, that is you donating, your nose is on the line, your eyeballs, your lips, your face is on the line. Like you will be, Nate Diaz will never look the same after fighting Conor with those scars. It's like these people are giving it all out there, and women especially is just like, it's I have two little sisters. Like, I don't like to see them get punched in the face. You know what I mean? So seeing the ladies go out there and go to war like that, it was even just that much crazier to watch. Giving them that compliment first, Maycee Barber found it, man. Maycee Barber was able to just settle in. Her striking, I think, looked better than ever, man. She really looked like she was pulling the trigger, looking for knockout. We were saying, is it going to be another Maycee Barber split decision? Nope.
No, she didn't let it go to the judges, and I was glad. She beat her up. I love the fight. Good performance, Barber, right amongst the elites in that weight class. Obviously, still needs to, fight someone else before she's considered like a real top contender, but she's climbing her way. She's climbing her way well. I was impressed by Maycee. Now, looking at the main event, we did have somebody who looks to be a very soon title challenger, somebody, in the comings that is going to be fighting for the belt. And Ilia Topuria, he put it on Josh Emmett, but you just don't get tougher humans than Josh Emmett. There was zero quit at the end. He's still throwing heavy shots. His face was pulverized, his eye completely closed, and he still wants to go. So first and foremost, Josh Emmett, one of the toughest savages to ever walk into the UFC octagon. And then on the other side, Ilia Topuria, maybe one of the more high-talented guys in his mid-20s we've ever seen. Like, I just think Topuria's boxing game is nasty, and we know that he's high level on the ground. Even the way he was able to control Josh Emmett at the end, it was just such sophisticated gamesmanship, just the way that he controlled him. I'm like, damn, Topuria is that guy that knows how to win at a high level. And being 26, obviously we're talking about Gabriel Santos, who's also 26, and I'm talking about how I feel like he's not grown into his body yet. Topuria can compete with anyone in the UFC featherweight division right now. And I feel as though, depending upon the UFC business side and timelines, he could be next in line for the title. Max Holloway in the mix too. Obviously, he's fighting the Korean Zombie. If it's not Topuria versus Volkanovski next, I can see the UFC pushing towards the side of Holloway, but that's a high-risk fight, because imagine Max Holloway beats the 26-year-old prospect who's the new challenge for Alexander Volkanovski. But then if you look at the flip side, imagine Topuria beats Max Holloway more impressively than Volkanovski was able to. So there's there's a risk there. They're playing roulette on that one, man. They're throwing it all down on red and hoping for the best. Another scenario is Volkanovski wins against Yair Rodriguez, and then Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev 2 is going to be in the talks. Do they want to risk losing the Makhachev rematch if Topuria is then able to dethrone him? So business side of the UFC, they got to make some decisions. I'm not opposed to Topuria versus Holloway, but another name that I will say to me is still in the mix, and I feel like a matchup versus Topuria and Brian Ortega, I like a lot. I think that's really intriguing because Ortega's jiu-jitsu is so sick. And knowing Topuria is nasty on the ground, and then Brian Ortega developing better stand-up. I like Ortega versus Topuria. I think that's a cool fight. Now, obviously, they're in complete opposite positions. Brian Ortega on a losing streak, Topuria on the other side catching W's. We shall see.
Yeah, no, I like those matchups, man. As usual, AJ with the matchmaker hat. I don't know if you've ever made a fight I didn't like, man. Those sound great to me. Topuria is just very, very calm and collected on the feet. He's able to go forward with the hands high. He looks like a boxer. Like the way he's fighting these guys is not the usual MMA style. He makes it work where you could actually block like in boxing. You know, normally when I'm coaching people at UFC Gym Huntington Beach, come train with me. I tell them this is the last resort. Like ideally we're weaving, we're slipping, we're pulling, we're floating out of the way. We're too close to get hit. You don't want to rely on blocks in MMA because fists get through. Those little small gloves can fit through those holes. However, Topuria is one of the few guys, you know, I'm thinking of like a Piotr Jan, even Cain Velasquez, although a lot of it was slipping, head movement and wrestling. He's making it work, man. He's a pure guy. He's a pure striker. He's not trying to take Emmett down really. And he's bombing on him. And Emmett's such a dangerous puncher himself, but he stayed pretty damn clean. You know, going toe to toe with Emmett, who's also got power with that style. So he's one of the few guys to make it work. That could provide problems for a lot of people. It's not what you usually see. Very explosive, you know, and showed us he could do 5 rounds, man. So, you know, I was hoping that just for the bet part, I like Emmett, but I was hoping that the 38-year-old Emmett might show us that damage that he accumulated in the Cater fight. He could go all day, man. Evan is a dog. He might be an old dog now, but he is a dog. He could still bite, man. He has no quit in him. What a great fucking fight that was.
I'm interested in Emmett versus Giga Chikadze, if you want my honest opinion. I feel like it'd be a crazy ass fight. I know, you know, common opponent Cater, Emmett has a competitive win over Cater, and then Chikadze took a hard loss, but styles make fights, different positions now with Emmett losing multiple fights. Like Giga Chikadze, Josh Emmett's a huge fight, and I think, I don't know, we're throwing Emmett just to savages back to back to back to back. But when you're the top 10 featherweight division, like, come on, man, if you're ranked, this is this part of the game. There's savages left and right. Everywhere you look, there's killers.
Yeah, man. I mean, and especially where he's at in his career, like the UFC is just going to keep giving him fights like that. You know, what are they going to do? Try to build him up from the bottom to the top again to get him a title shot? Like, you know, he's going to be fighting the who's who. So that makes perfect sense. Those are 2 different ranges, AJ. Giga Chikadze fights out there in the green zone where he could kick you in the body and keep moving and not really getting a boxing match. Emmett's the guy who needs that boxing range. You know, that's why it was so fun to watch him and Topuria, 2 guys who thrive in those close quarters. You know, Topuria dominated the fight though, and like you were saying, I want to see him have a big fight next, man. You know, Topuria, Volkanovski, Holloway, obviously getting the title shot right now, Yair Rodriguez. By the way, I just talked to Carlos Hernandez before this about Yair Rodriguez. I was asking him, you know, sort of how he felt he matched up with Volkanovski. So after the show, if you guys want to check that out, feel free. And essentially what he was saying was that you know, Volkanovski is going to see a different style of striker against Yair Rodriguez because he spins, he jumps, he might kick and then punch, he might punch and then kick. You never really know what Yair Rodriguez is going to do, and his dynamics in striking make him very dangerous. So who knows who even wins that Volk fight? You know, you were doing some fantasy matchmaking if Volk wins. I don't know, man. It's a really good fight. I'm gonna have to dig into that one before I even pick it, and that's rare for a Volk fight. I mean, you know, Volk we usually got to side with, right? But that's a tremendous fight. So point is, the fucking division's on fire.
Right now. UFC featherweight division is as hot as it can get. Yeah. And I can't wait to see, because you know what? The belt's on the line in 2 weeks, man, for, you know, next week when we do our breakdown. Also, we might as well note it now. Next week's breakdown for us guys, it is going to be on Thursday. Like I told the people, I'll be out of town. So we're bringing it live Thursday. Old Moneyline Thursday, back for the OGs next week. Just to let you guys know. And that's going to be talking about UFC 290. Which the featherweight division is on the line there. So it's going to be sick, man. I love that weight class. And knowing that Max Holloway is still right in the mix too. And if there's any new champion that comes, Max Holloway is a clear contender. I mean, if it's not a Volk rematch, Max Holloway is right there too.
It's true. That's true. That division's on fire, man. Him going up to lightweight, no way right now, man. He's got too much work to do in his division. Topuria versus Volk. I mean, these fights are cool, man. So yeah, they gotta run some of these matchups for sure. And that'll be a fun next year here in the featherweight division, man.
The UFC don't stop, man. And listen, we got to get into the breakdown.
Let's do it
this week. People, if you're watching and enjoying, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new, make sure to subscribe as we close in on 17,500 subs. Starting off, UFC Vegas 76, we got Guram Kutateladze versus Elves Brener. To me, this has been a pretty clear-sided pick. I see Guram as the clear winner here. I asked myself, can Guram get the finish inside of the octagon? We haven't seen him get the finish yet. He does have finishing capabilities. He is a really nasty kicker. I feel like Guram brings a lot of pressure, but something about Brener is like, I know he's training at Shoot the Box with Diego Lima, even though I was not overly impressed with his performance against Zubaira Tukhugov. He did ultimately get, a semi-controversial decision win. Could he go long with Guram? I'm going to say dominant decision for Guram Kutateladze, and I'm curious, Mike, what side you're on. I'm assuming is the same as mine, but I'm definitely thinking method of victory. I'm curious where your mind's at.
Listen, man, I rewatched Guram and Ismagulov earlier today, and man, Guram is a tough cookie, dude. He puts pressure on you. He was landing some big elbows and knees against the fence on Ismagulov, and I know you have as much respect as I do for Demir. So Guram Kutateladze is a huge problem. I do think he wrecks through Brener. I could see him potentially stopping him late, dude. He's the type of guy to sort of accumulate that beat down on you. Maybe it's a third round TKO.
I like that. Because I'm feeling like that's what I could see. A later stoppage. Early in the fight, I don't know. I don't see Guram just chinning him with one big punch. But a beat down over the course of the 3 rounds, definitely possible. The odds are crazy wide, though, bro. -600 for Guram. Elves Brener is +425. Guram is purely like the longer parlay piece. But he's a super high confidence pick. Guram, would be a lock per se, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like the odds at -600 is not good. So it's not like a lock betting. But as far as picks wise, how I think a fight's going to go down, I think if Guram loses this fight, that's one of the bigger upsets ever. Guram to win by decision sits at +150. Guram by KO at +100. So interesting, man. Let's see. Do we have round KO? Third round, Guram +700 for a third round win. I mean, if you're really looking to chase some plus money, that's one of them.
I would consider a parlay piece with Guram, man. Yes. I wouldn't throw all the cards in on a finish.
Right.
But Guram's going to be. I think that's a pretty high likelihood of him winning, and maybe if you double that up with something, you get some decent odds.
Yeah, agreed. And we got to shout out Ali Point VTV, the dynamic duo. Let's go. Drop $2 if you got it. Thank you, Ali. We appreciate the 2 dineros. You mean a ton to us. And I always appreciate you in the chat, throwing donos in the love, my man. Much love, Ali Point VTV. Good first fight. I knew we were going to agree on it. I think everybody's on the same side. Guram for the win. Next fight on the card, Alexandr Romanov versus Blagoy Ivanov. Mike Finch, this pick here is going to be very interesting because at one point, you and I both felt as though Romanov was a serious threat to the heavyweight top 10.
Hell yeah.
Now, he has a performance against Volkov where he looked horrible. And for this fight, I dug into the social media. I said, let's see, is Romanov back on that diet? Because you remember when he fought, he leaned out a bit for some matchups. He came in at
he was weighing in the 230s, AJ.
He looked great. What is he now? He looks fat, bro. He looks like he's got a lot of extra weight on him. I'm picking Blagoy Ivanov to TKO him here. I just can't ride with the Romanov that we saw last time out. It looked to me like somebody who completely lost themselves. Now, could that be a one-off? Sure. But I know for a fact there's zero quit in Blagoy Ivanov. The guy has come back from getting stabbed, and he's fighting still, competing with high-level heavyweights, regardless of him never being, super overly impressive with crazy power or having awesome finishes. He's a guy that brings it every single time. He's a combat sambo champ, and I think Romanov is going to maybe have some early success, but if there is resistance from Ivanov, I see Romanov breaking mentally again and potentially gassing out. Give me Ivanov by TKO, man.
I like it, AJ. Look, I was, everybody knows I was super high on Romanov, and that's, that was coming off of a couple nice wins he had. He did lose to Marcin Tybura, but he was 230. I even wrote it down. 239 against Marcin Tybura, 236 against Chase Sherman when he won that fight. He came in against Volkov at the heavyweight limit. Okay. He came in at, I think it was 264 and a half. So half a pound away from the heavyweight limit. And he looked like a pile of shit out there. And you get people assume it's like a video game characters or something, like the same guy shows up every time. These are human beings. Sometimes fighters really do go out there to collect the check. I'll give you guys a quick one. This is directly from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan said that the night before Ken Shamrock fought Tito Ortiz the last time, that he was out in the casino at like 1 or 2 in the morning gambling. And he's like, dude, it's 2 in the morning. Don't you have to fight Tito tomorrow on Spike TV? Ken's like, don't worry about it. Ken goes out there and gets dominated by Tito. Yeah. There are moments that athletes have where they don't give it all. Where they're not taking it as seriously. And so if you're assuming that they're taking it seriously, you're gonna be surprised. So when he weighed in, for that Volkov fight, it was like, oh my God, why did he gain 30 pounds? If he weighs in again in the 260s, you gotta go Blagoy Ivanov. I mean, what would we go off of other than him gassing out in like 30 seconds? One shot that he didn't get. I think Volkov grabbed the fence. One shot that he didn't get with Volkov having a little help, and he crumbled mentally. So I think not only Blagoy Ivanov wins, but he finishes him if we see Fat Romanov again, because I have no reason to believe Fat Romanov is taking this shit seriously. Romanov could be a force in the heavyweight division. Romanov, a dedicated 235-pound Romanov, is a problem. Fat Romanov, he looks like he's getting run over by Blagoy.
Yeah, agreed, man. And it seems like he's Fat Romanov. The social media, it's recent post. He looks every bit of 265 pounds right now. So got to go Blagoy. We got to also shout out Mark Begley for the $10. My man being extra generous, throwing some double digits. My man, thank you, Mark. We appreciate you.
Mark, that's love. We appreciate the donos, guys. It makes a difference. I got to take the girl out this weekend. You know what I mean? Shit costing money out here. I appreciate the donos. Thank you, guys. Maybe I'll get another color shirt. I'll match AJ every single week. I'll go shopping with it. Thank you.
Listen, well, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Much love, Mark. Let's jump to the odds. Let's talk some lines. Blagoy Ivanov is a +120 underdog in this fight here. Romanov around -140, the favorite. You'd have to assume Ivanov to win inside distance at +315 is extraordinarily live, if exactly what Mike Finch is saying. If Romanov shows up with his 2-pack up top and he's 235, that's a different Romanov. But if he's chubby Romanov, I don't think he has the gas to go long. And it's incredibly hard to finish somebody like Blagoy Ivanov. I mean, if you look at Blagoy's run, he's been in there with literally everybody. When is the last time Blagoy was finished in a fight? He was submitted in 2014 by Alexandr Volkov. Crazy. That's actually the recent loss for Romanov. Right. Since then, he's been in there with the likes of Junior Dos Santos, Tai Tuivasa, Ben Rothwell, Derek Lewis, Rogerio de Lima, Augusto Sakai, Marcin Tybura. He's not getting finished by anybody. So I think the durability of Ivanov definitely carries him far in this matchup, and I do think he'll end up stopping a fatigued Romanov here.
Yeah, man, definitely. Who said it's gonna be must-see TV on the scales? One of you guys just commented that. That's exactly right. I do believe that you guys should pay attention to weigh-ins, and if he's just making that 265-pound limit, he probably ain't taking it seriously. I mean, just to put a cap on this, we have seen fighters gain weight and do well. Tyson Fury comes to mind in boxing when he came in really heavy, fat, against Deontay Wilder. He said he was eating like quadruple cheeseburgers and stuff to get his weight up, to bully him. That's different. The type of fat that we saw Romanov was like, he didn't train. So if he's not going to train for Blagoy, you got to go Blagoy all day, man. I'll have my eyes peeled on Friday. I'll be watching AJ's weigh-in show for sure.
My man. Let's keep running up. Next fight on the card is Joanderson Brito versus Westin Wilson. And I can see Mike Finch staring at Westin Wilson's graphic there. He's getting a laugh from it. It looks like he took it like a MySpace picture or something, bro. He took this in high school or something. This is the pick I got. This is him, man. This is Westin Wilson. Listen, Joanderson Brito should win in the first round. I called club and sub. I'm sticking with that call. Respect to Westin Wilson at 34. He's making his debut. He trains with Wonderboy. He does have a Wonderboy-like karate style. I just think Brito is going to be way too explosive. I think he can hurt him with a big punch over the top and get his back. On the ground, the jiu-jitsu level difference is vast. So I'm going to go Brito by sub here.
KZ, I didn't actually know that, if that's true. If you want to bring it up really quick, AJ, that's pretty cool. He got stabbed in a bar, fought his way out of the bar, climbed into a cab, and got himself to the hospital. This man ain't losing. On the last pick, I did not know it was that dramatic. That's insane, man. That's insane.
That is crazy, bro. That is
that's a movie.
Blagoy doesn't see that's a big reason we pick him. I mean, there's no quit versus someone who evidently broke last time.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's a movie. If Blagoy gets up there and wins the title or something, forget McGregor forever. I want to see Blagoy forever. I got to see that shit. Okay, Brito versus Wilson. Wilson with the karate style. By the way, who's been watching The Ultimate Fighter? How good of a coach is Wonderboy? Wonderboy is a phenomenal coach, man. I would really love to have Wonderboy as a coach. When I was watching that, I'm like, do I need to change coasts? Because I'm out here on the West Coast and I'm getting some sick jiu-jitsu. By the way, guess who was in the jiu-jitsu room today training for Henry Cejudo?
It was Marlon Chito Vera.
Marlon Chito Vera. I said, what's up, Chito, this morning? We were on the mat together. I didn't roll with him. I was letting him go. He was training with Tynan Dalfra and like world champions. I was all right, I'm not even going to ask him to roll today. But for sure, sometime this week, if Chito keeps showing up to practice, I'm going to roll with Chito Vera. So,
that's sick, dude.
I'll keep you guys posted. Chito was in there, big smiles today. He was even boxing up some of the kids. I told him, Chito's the jiu-jitsu gym. You're at Art of Jiu-Jitsu, Chito. You can't be boxing in here, bro. But he's getting ready for Henry Cejudo, and he's looking good. But as far as coaching goes, I mean, Wilson has, I think one of the best coaches in the world in Wonderboy. I have not seen footwork so beautiful. The way he was having the Ultimate Fighter, he's got to do 2 bounces forward, 3 bounces back. I mean, the overall feeling and the balance that they get, the in and out movement, that's what that kid needed against Onama. That's what he needed, is to be able to go in and out like that. And Wilson does have that. So that's going to be really important against a puncher like Brito. Brito is able to rock your world if he hits you with one of those big shots. Maybe he'll have some trouble landing one of those. AJ, I think the difference here is when Brito gets this on the ground, even for a moment, I think he's on the back and he's getting a face squeeze or a nice rear naked strangle. So I think the experience level and just the overall finishing ability with the jiu-jitsu will be there for Brito. Much physically stronger, very explosive. I'll lean Brito. There is a pathway for a Wilson decision, but let's go Brito submission, which I think is your pick as well.
Brito sub the pick. I actually attacked the under 1.5 line, and it just keeps getting wider and wider. I think it's going short here. Right now, under 1.5 is the only thing available as far as, prop betting. It's minus 260 now for that under 1.5. But looking at Brito, minus 1250 money line to Wilson at plus 850.
Two comments that I have to jump in on before I answer this question. Don F. Mike's ring light making him look like an artificial intelligence robot. That's awesome. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. And who's the other AI? I'm not Lex Friedman. So I'm not one of the AI. Those guys are the AI. And can we squash this? Megatron, my wife is beautiful, okay? You've been telling the whole chat this whole damn show. My wife is tremendous. Yes, she is fine as hell. But in OnlyFans, no. I am the OnlyFan, okay? I plucked her out of high school, okay? She was a virgin when I started dating her. I'm the only man she's been. It's going to stay like that, okay? Happily married. And if you get to see anything on Instagram, any bathing suit pictures, consider yourself lucky. All right. I should, go Khabib style and just keep her home. No, I'm just kidding. A joke, of course. I have a beautiful wife. Thank you very much. Do you want a prediction on this one? I think it's I think it could be quick, AJ. I think it could be a round 1 Brito submission.
Listen, I played the under and I'm ready to win. That's all. I played the under and I'm ready to win. That's it. Under's the play in this one.
I like it. I think he could do it. Look, it's not in my, it's not in my lock. It's not in my parlay, but I think that's a fair pick, AJ.
Let's go. Let's keep going. Brito in this one. Next fight on the card, Ivana Petrović versus Luana Carolina. So I picked the Petrović side, but it's not something I'm telling you, listen, she's the girl that's guaranteed to win. It's just Carolina has consistently looked extremely sluggish and awkward on the feet. I mean, yes, she lands strikes, but her technique is extremely weird. I say she's a very herky, jerky striker. I feel like if Petrović can stick to a smart game plan, putting Carolina on her back and controlling her, she should win. She doesn't have the best takedowns ever, but she does have some, double legs. And you look at women's MMA fights, sometimes takedowns that land are not always these absolute savage blast doubles. Sometimes these drop low, grab the legs and sprint and shit goes to the floor. I feel like with Petrović in this one, she should have enough to take a Carolina down. 0% chance of me betting on it. I was sitting here when I was doing my notes, which was, earlier last week, and I was watching Petrović, and I'm like, yo, I think Carolina might have a little bit of shot. But then you watch Carolina, it's like, no, it's a women's fight that one person is being built and expected to win in Petrović. But Carolina, I mean, could she pull it off? Maybe, but I think it's it's a coin flip, but a Petrović should win. I don't know, 6-7 times out of 10, but Carolina could definitely awkwardly squeeze it out with some takedown defense and some weird combos, man. What do you think?
I think Petrović could win this fight, man. It's just tough when you're new to the UFC. And, obviously, Carolina's got a lot more experience. I'm always hesitant to pick these UFC newcomers, AJ. So that's what makes me hesitate on this one. A lot of you guys don't like betting on women's MMA, so that could also make you hesitate. So, how will she do with the UFC debut? That's probably the biggest question here, because I do think Petrović should win this fight. Yes, I don't think Carolina is a very technical fighter. No. She doesn't have a high fight IQ. She's not expressing that through good game plans. She's very beatable, and Petrović might have the recipe, coming in on a nice streak, and it's just a big step up for her. How does she do under the spotlight? I don't know.
Well, that's the big question. There's a big I don't know. So your pick is Petrović, but low conf?
Low confidence because it's the debut. I mean, AJ, if we ran stats, you tell the people, if we ran stats on the people who make their UFC debut versus someone who has 3+ UFC fights, it's usually the person it's usually the vet who wins those, right?
A lot of the time we've seen recently, but like Carolina is like, just, if you look at her tool set, it's just not impressive enough for me to pick. Right. I mean, she does have a split decision loss with Joanne Wood last time out, which we can take. Oh, Wood's got a fuckload of fights. So I don't know. As we sit here and you're like, yo, I want to bet a dog in this fight, maybe. Like, I don't know. If you're betting it, maybe you'd rather pick Carolina for the maybe than pick Petrović for the maybe at odds. Well, I'll pick Petrović, but like, listen, this is just, she's a better fighter, but she could still lose the fight because we don't know. UFC lights, it's a big fight. She hasn't been at this level before. She's only 6-0. We'll pick Petrović, but it's like, it's weird, man. It's one of those fights I wouldn't throw cash at Petrović, regardless of what happens at the end.
Yeah, sometimes people gas, it's like you get all nervous and, the bright lights are on you and, you're on ESPN and you have a good first minute and then you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted, So that's one of the things that I just like to see her compete in the UFC before I'm putting a band on her. I'd rather bet Blagoy. You know what I'm saying? He's a dog, AJ.
He don't quit. Blagoy's a good dog bet because you know what I mean?
So there are better bets on this card. In my humble opinion, you're right, though. Petrović, the better fighter pretty much all around.
Minus 220, so she's a wide favorite. Luana is plus 185. Over 2.5 at minus 245 certainly could happen. But, I think your better option is probably not touching this one. I know there's going to be some Carolina dog players. Best of luck to you, but we'll ride Petrović.
Falconer, didn't Molly Meatball McCann almost murder Carolina with a spinning elbow. Listen, Molly Meatball can strike. The problem is when you put Molly Meatball on her back, she starts looking like a meatball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a lot going on. But on the feet, Molly Meatball's a problem. Of course, 2 spinning back fist knockouts?
Yeah, she's got dangerous spinning shit. Yeah. And this matchup, Petrović is going to be looking to take it to the floor. I think that the stand-up is risky. Now, Carolina, she fought against now I got to pull up the Tapology because the name's escaping my head, man.
I've always got Tapology up.
Luana, Carolina fought against Lupi at one point. I know Lupi at this point has kind of been proven to not be the most top-tier wrestler, but she was able to fend off takedowns there. Petrović is bigger. She's got a 2-inch height advantage. I think she should be stronger. She should get her down. We'll go Petrović. I'm going to go decision Petrović, but yeah, no bet.
Shout out to Joe Dirt.
My guy. Joe Dirt. He shows love constantly, man. My brother Joe Dirt, an OG of the chat, an OG of the channel, and an OG overall. Joe Dirt, my guy. Appreciate the work, homeboys. Well, we appreciate your support, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Joe.
Let's go. This fight, same side, risky call. Whatever you want to listen. Just no bet. That's all. That's I'll reiterate. No bet on this one.
Petrović looking good in that picture you posted there. That's actually a good one, AJ. Finally, AJ gets a good picture.
Thank you. This fight here, Karol Rosa versus Yana Santos. Note that it is at women's featherweight. Rosa did step in to fight Santos on short notice. Santos was originally scheduled for Macy Chiasson. I've been picking Karol Rosa to win this fight. I've been, underwhelmed by Yana Santos. I feel as though I've never thought she was overly impressive. I thought she lost to Ketlen Vieira and was awarded that decision. So then if you really dig into what she's been able to do inside of the UFC, it's not super impressive. I mean, she fought Holly Holm last time, dominant loss. Irene Aldana knocked her out, she beat Ketlen Vieira rather, but I did think she lost that fight. And then you look before that, I mean, her win against Julia Stoliarenko. Before that, she's TKO'd by Aspen Ladd. Karol Rosa, I'm going to pick her to pull this one off. I think she can put it together with the hands, match the cage work, and win. But is it, the best bet ever? She's a big favorite, man. She's like, what is she? She's sitting at 2-1, I think. Where we at? No, I'd rather -155, but I'm picking Rosa. I'll pick Rosa. I think she's better. I've never been impressed with Yana Santos. But Rosa, at the end of the day, we don't know. We'll see.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. Rosa, I mean, she's got like competent enough striking, and she does hit double legs when she needs them. But honestly, when I was watching some of those fights back, I'm like, these women she's fighting can't even sprawl. What fight was I watching with Rosa where DC was like, like the takedown defense was so bad.
Was it the McMahon fight?
Might have been no, it definitely wasn't Sarah McMahon. Sarah McMahon's an Olympic wrestler. Can't shit on Sarah McMahon.
True.
Wrestling. It was worse than that. Regardless, my point is, look at who Santos is losing to. She lost to Holly Holm and Irene Aldana, and I know you didn't like that decision against Ketlen Vieira, but AJ, we got to admit it's Ketlen Vieira.
True.
So even though Miss Foxy Santos is losing her last 2 fights here, I mean, it's against Holly Holm and Irene Aldana, so it's pretty high level. And Karol Rosa, I don't think Karol Rosa is at that level. So with the odds being the way they are, fuck it, I'll go Yana Santos, and maybe she's able to snag a decision here. Really, all I see from Caroline Rosa is like really basic double legs. She's not even like running her feet or changing levels really well. Maybe Santos could figure that out. Maybe she's been training with her husband, who's been pretty damn dangerous in that cage. Maybe she hit some good elbows here or show us some stuff. I think she fights generally at a higher level than Rosa. And maybe that'll shine through here. She needs this win. I mean, if she's not beating a Rosa, then she's really on her way out. And I don't see her on her way out, man. I think she's one of those mid-tier women, and she might keep the gate on this one. Give me Santos, AJ. Not that I'm confident in it, but give me Santos.
Respect. I respect the call on the dog. +136 for Yana Santos, -155 for Karol Rosa. This one here is over 2.5 minus 300. I mean, it probably goes over, but you know, if you think if Yana potentially is ripping some elbows together, I mean, who knows? But realistically, we're probably going 3 rounds. I'll say Rosa to get her hand raised. The over 2.5 is minus 300.
Piggy Bank likes the lock on the over. Piggy Bank is saying over. Piggy Bank, I think he might be breaking out the hammer on that one, my friend. That makes sense.
Santos is dog money, yeah. So, Mike, you're on the dog. Yana Santos, I'm going Rosa. We'll see what happens when these women's bantamweights face off in the featherweight division. Next fight on the card, we got Kevin Lee versus Rinat Fakhretdinov. How do you pick against Rinat Fakhretdinov? I mean, Kevin Lee notably has been incredible with his wrestling. And you look, I mean, he's able to take down good opposition. He's able to defend against good opposition. But guys that just keep bringing it, like, RDA comes to mind. Kevin Lee could never really figure that puzzle out. And I think Rinat Fakhretdinov right now is that guy on the come up, whereas Kevin Lee was just recently having a competitive fight, regardless of the knee injury, against Diego Sanchez. He's also outmatched a bit in the height. I feel as though Kevin Lee is a 55er that just has an incredibly hard time consistently making weight. So he's now at 170 against a pretty full-sized Rinat Fakhretdinov. I mean, if I told you Fakhretdinov was fighting at middleweight, I don't think people would argue. I believe he has fought at middleweight previously. Let me double-check this fight. But
he's a big boy.
Yeah, he fought at middleweight against Eric Spicely, and he made his UFC debut against Michelitis then at 170 pounds, but Michelitis a former 85er. I got to go Fakhretdinov. I expect him to be able to defend Kevin Lee's wrestling. I feel like potentially get on the offensive. And if he gets on top of Kevin Lee, I think Kevin will struggle with that. And then in the striking department, I'm not like crazy about Fakhretdinov's boxing. He's very wide. He likes to throw hooks a lot. But if he could potentially throw something straight down the line and then bring some of those hooks over, could touch a Kevin Lee. I got to go Fakhretdinov, but Kevin Lee's still a decent fighter. Like, it's not like he's bad. It's just, I feel like he's so much smaller. I feel like these guys are 2 different weight classes. So Kevin Lee, I wish he could make 155, but he's a tweener, unfortunately, man.
Yeah, man. Kevin Lee's going to be undersized in this matchup. I just feel like the UFC is like, oh, you want to come back now? All right, you get Fakhretdinov. Like, Fakhretdinov is a problem, man. He looked real good in that last one. So I think Fakhretdinov is an absolute, a heavy pick for me, man. I'll hesitate from saying the L word, but a heavy pick for me. And I like this matchup for him. Kevin Lee, obviously dangerous, but who is forgotten? Like, we can't forget about that Diego Sanchez fight in Eagle FC. I mean, that was not impressive, man. And you're going to go in there against like a 2023 high level guy, like a Fakhretdinov. I say that because Diego Sanchez was good a decade ago. You know what I mean? And he's having a close fight with Diego Sanchez, Diego, the chubby nightmare. Look, I know I got a lot of respect for Diego. I mean, I don't mean to disrespect Diego by calling him the chubby nightmare. I'm just saying that he's past his prime, and Fakhretdinov is not. Fakhretdinov is coming here to dominate Kevin Lee. He might do just that. Kevin Lee, decorated wrestler. He's got a couple nice knockouts. Was it Gregor Gillespie was the crazy one, that like decapitated Gregor Gillespie? That was insane. There's like a 1 out of 10 chance he could pull something off here. I would say 9 out of 10 chance Fakhretdinov beats his fucking ass, dude.
That's what I'm thinking.
So couple people are on that too. So there was a parlay that one of you guys dropped. Whoever parlays, Guram and Fakhretdinov. That's an interesting one. Are you reading my mind? And speaking of reading my mind, the inside of my shades are AI, and they're reporting back to me. That's exactly right, guys. I am reading a script on the insides of these glasses. The chat is completely on point.
Yeah, listen, they know that you're artificial intelligence, Mike. Listen, it's out there now. It's exposed, man.
I'm not very robotic like the AIs.
That's what they want you to think.
Sense, right? Lex Friedman, he's a podcast host and he's monotone. Like, okay, so like it makes sense. Me, come on.
I don't know, man. That's what the people are saying, brother. Now, as far as this odds, how they're looking, Fakhretdinov minus 190, Kevin Lee plus 165. Would you throw down chalk at a Fakhretdinov minus 195, or minus 190? Or is he a parlay piece? Is it like, nah, you know what, the bet's not great?
I think a money line at 190.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm in.
That's what I'm thinking. I think he definitely could be a piece. I know Leon in the chat was saying it's a bad bet going Fakhretdinov, but tell me, Kevin Lee, you talk about he has this fight with this guy and that guy. None of the guys Kevin Lee's faced off of are Renat Fakhretdinov at welterweight. So
Dude.
I think he struggles.
I think he's, especially because it's his first fight back, dude. It's like they're not even letting him kind of dip his toe back in the water. Yes, he's been here. At least it's not like the UFC debut, but it's kind of, if they really wanted to promote Kevin Lee, if they really wanted Kevin Lee to work his way up to get a big type of fight in a main event, they wouldn't have started him off with Fakhretdinov. I think this is dinner for Fakhretdinov. I think this is the name for Fakhretdinov right now.
Yep, that's their plan. I think, Kevin Lee, welcome back. We'll give you Renat. And now Renat's going to have a win over former interim title challenger Kevin Lee. So it looks good for him. Fakhretdinov, our pick. I think he's getting it done. And you think unanimous decision, or you think potentially finishes Lee off?
He could potentially choke him or something, dude. I think he gets on top of him, gets a little beatdown action going, tough on the feet too. Yeah, Fakhretdinov's going to be an all-around problem, man. Yep. This could be the worst we've seen Kevin Lee get out-wrestled, man. Obviously Kevin Lee with the wrestling background, he's pretty explosive, but being the smaller guy too, I think he's getting worn down. I try to stay away from picking finishes. Like I picked Topuria knockout, and then fucking Emmett shows us how tough he is. We knew that, but like when is it going to add up to you, Josh Emmett? And with this one, it's like I think the minus 190 you said money line. Yeah. That's fair, bro. That's fair. I think I might be stabbing that.
I like it. Fakhretdinov the win for us both in this fight here. Let's keep running up the card and jump to the main card. Make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe. Let's start it off. It's UFC Vegas 76, his first fight on the main. We got Brunno Ferreira taking on the man on the come up, Mr. Fucking difficult name to pronounce, but I'm going to get it perfectly right here. Okay. It's Nursultan Ruziboev. I like Ruziboev in this fight. I think that here is one of those matchups where you have Ferreira, who's never gone over a round and a half. All of his finishes are early second round or first round. And he's a powerhouse. He slept Gregory Rodriguez, absolutely. But you go back and watch that fight. Gregory Rodriguez just stayed in the red zone with his head not moving, which he got caught, previously on the Contender Series, kind of doing a similar thing with the head just being there. Ruziboev is a very long striker, 6 feet 4 inches tall. Also has a pretty capable ground game. I feel as though Brunno Ferreira is going to come after him extremely hard early. And if he's unable to stop Ruziboev in the first round, fatigue sets in. Because I feel like you even look against Gregory Rodriguez, it seemed like Ferreira was starting. I don't want to say he was weathering, but you could see the fight was having an effect on him. And actually, I remember watching that fight live, and I'm like, oh, Ferreira's starting to feel the fight now. Gregory Rodriguez is going to take over. And then sure enough, boom, one shot, it's over. I don't think Ruziboev puts himself into a spot to get caught like that. He's a rangy kickboxer. I feel like he's going to pull this one off by submission. Ferreira potentially gassed out in the third round, ends up on bottom. Ruziboev starts flowing on the floor, potentially strangles him, maybe Kimura's him. I like Ruziboev.
KZ says RoboCop is a monster, though. Bro, I kind of agree. RoboCop is a problem. I actually got a lot of respect for RoboCop. RoboCop was winning that fight against Ferreira, but Ferreira knocked his ass out, dude. Ferreira's got power. So before anybody goes and bets against Ferreira, just know there's a chance that he lands a shot on the chin and this thing's over with. A much shorter man than Ruziboev. I see what you're seeing. You're saying 6'4", right?
6'4".
6'4" is a tall guy. But when I'm watching him fight, even when he gets to the top position, like he's been swept to mount with a Kimura. I'm watching his fights where he got a slam knockout, but it's because he was just about to get triangled. I'm watching his striking, and I see he's kind of a sucker for kicks. Like nobody's really calf kicking him yet. Like kick that freaking long ass calf. I feel like he's not checking kicks very well, and that the Muay Thai, the heavy shots that Ferreira can land might really affect his mobility in this fight, which would have him trouble shooting off that front leg. And then he's trying to close the distance on this kid, and he's running into shots, so if he can't control distance, if he's getting his legs eaten up at distance, and then he's trying to close the distance, I think he's getting clipped, dude. So I understand the pick, AJ, but I'm going against you again. Give me Ferreira knockout.
Oh, shit. Ferreira knockout. It would be very impressive for him to sleep Ruziboev. With Ruziboev, man, I don't know. I just think this is the matchup for him. Stylistically, the length edge, Ferreira being very heavy-handed and Ruziboev being more of a calculated striker. And then my worry, for the Ferreira side potentially is fatigue, certainly. And Ruziboev only was knocked out one time out of his, 45 pro fights. So
that's crazy. That experience is nuts, huh?
Dude, as young as he is, to have that many fights at not even 30 is insanity. It's a dog fight. Ferreira, you're right. Gregory Rodriguez is a monster, and Ferreira flatlined him. So this is a dangerous fight for Ruziboev, who's previously fought at 173 his last fight. But I'm still picking him. I still like the stylistic matchup. Going to be a fun fight either way. Brunno Ferreira is a slight favorite, -130. Ruziboev at +110. We got a pick'em's fight for good reason here. It's essentially even lines. It makes a lot of sense to me. It opened up at what? -110 each side. It's actually swelled, +145 for Ruziboev. They just shifted the line, and then Ferreira at -170. Dog fight. Ruziboev, I'll pick the dog here.
I hear you, man, and I really feel you putting stock into the fact that we haven't seen Ferreira go long. But sometimes the fact that we haven't seen them go long does not necessarily mean that they can't go long, right? Like the absence of it doesn't mean that it couldn't be there. So while he's been knocking people out, I think that's a good sign. It's a good sign that he's so goddamn dangerous. And RoboCop beating him up a little bit and then him coming back kind of showed me that heart he's got beaten in his chest, dude. So I like that too, AJ. Good fight.
Dog fight. Love this matchup. Next fight on the card, we got Ismael Bonfim versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Obviously, Bonfim is going to be the pick here. I think that he ends up chinning Saint-Denis. Denis is one of those guys, Saint-Denis, I should say, his full name. He's going to come in looking to clasp his hands, get you to the floor, and dominate. And he does a really good job there, and he's got submission wins. Bonfim is a powerhouse striker who also has incredible hips, and in athleticism is off the charts. And I feel like that Terrence McKinney fight shot his stock through the roof. So fighting Benoit Saint-Denis is a relatively large step down in competition, right? But the style is very different. Saint-Denis is going to look to get it to the floor. He's not going to be looking to mix it up on the feet and brawl with Bonfim. And he showed incredible durability with the Lizio Zaleski. I think Bonfim does find the kill button, though. I'm going Ismael Bonfim to knock him out. And when Saint-Denis shooting, I mean, the way Bonfim effortlessly is doing flying knees, it's like he's got a good technique with it. He could land another one in this fight here. So I like Bonfim to chin him, putting him out.
Dude, Bonfim is exciting as fuck, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I like watching Bonfim fight, man. He is a problem. Yeah, you shoot a double leg on him, you better be biting down on your mouthpiece. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys where you don't even want to shoot in on him straight. Like, a lot of people just think they just close the distance just by level changing like you do in high school or college wrestling. Really, you need to set something up with lateral movement with Bonfim because he's too fucking dangerous to close the distance like that. I don't know if you guys remember Wonder Boy fought Jorge Masvidal and he hit him with a jab and he stepped sideways and then he hit him with the cross at the angle. That's the same thing you could do with a double leg on Bonfim. Don't shoot on him. Don't fucking shoot on him. Hit him with the jab, move sideways, and then shoot at him at an angle because he's too dangerous to close that distance on. Saint-Denis could be in trouble. I also have Bonfim knockout.
Let's go. Yeah, Bonfim knockout, I think, is a very high likelihood. As far as the odds, Bonfim, I mean, of course, he's going to be the favorite in this fight, but it's more about, how big of a favorite. Well, he's -310 right now. Benoit, +260. Looking at the knockout prop for Bonfim, you got +140 for a Bonfim KO, -310 money line. Bonfim is very live for the KO. Would it be impossible? He picks Saint-Denis apart for 3 rounds. Saint-Denis, more of a grappler, but maybe he gets a hold of him a bit, plays it safe a little, takes some damage, or you think he's getting put out? I don't know. He's tough as nails. Saint-Denis is a tough man, but I just think Bonfim's got the kill shot.
Colo Strum in the chat. Bonfim versus Benoit is closer than people think. I'm glad to get that argument slid in here because me and AJ are kind of heavy on Bonfim. Look, I'm just really impressed with that Terrence McKinney performance. I got to meet Terrence last year. He's a nice guy. God damn, is he athletic? Bonfim is more athletic than him, dude.
Yeah.
You know, Bonfim is built for this, as the kids say. So I do think that he will get that knockout, AJ.
I do too. I think he's getting the KO. Plus 140 for the knockout prop. Bonfim, that minus 310 money line. Both of us on the Bonfim side. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Ariane Lipski versus Melissa Gatto. I'm actually picking Ariane Lipski to win this fight against Gatto here. I don't know. I think Gatto's willing to accept bottom position. She does have good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but note Lipski's never been submitted before and has, relatively good takedown defense for the most part. Obviously was controlled in previous fights. I believe Antonina Shevchenko, a name that comes to mind where she was controlled a bit. Does have a knee bar against Luana Carolina, but she's dangerous on the feet. I think Lipski's the better striker between her and Gatto, as well as the better athlete. And then if Gatto's unable to be successful with her grappling, positioning, and control, I see her getting outstruck on the feet. So I'm liking Lipski.
I saw Lipski walking out of UFC Gym Huntington Beach. It was like love at first sight. She's so beautiful. I love my wife. I'm just kidding. But I mean, Lipski is, I don't want to see her get punched in the face ever. Okay. I don't ever want to see Lipski get punched in the face, but I think Gatto's going to punch her in the face, dude. I think they're going to go to war. I think this is a really good fight. You make a good point that Gatto accepts bottom position, but that was really exposed in that Tracy Cortez fight, right? And if you look at what Tracy Cortez was doing, that whole camp, she was training with Henry Cejudo and, I think, right, Brian T. City Ortega, right? Is that the... Am I on point with
they broke up now, but they were together at that point.
They were together back then.
Yeah.
So she's training with these grapplers, and she kind of just made that work for her, where she was able to sort of defend the guard of Gatto and get her down. And you're right, Gatto is accepting bottom position too easily. I think you hit the nail on the head there. But Lipski, not the best wrestler I've ever seen. Lipski, a little bit more of a striker, MMA fighter, used to train at King's MMA, but she left King's. I don't even know where she is right now. On Tapology, it says King's MMA. I assure you, Rafael Cordero has not seen her. So he seemed like mildly peeved when I talked to him about that. I was like, oh yeah, and you got Lipski. He's like, no, brother. He's like, no, I don't know where she is.
Sure.
I think Gatto, dude. Are we disagreeing on all the lady fights? I think we're going to fucking war on the lady fights.
I guess so. We're going after.
I hope neither of us are right about all of them, so we can. I'm gonna go Gatto, and I think she's gonna hold her own. And you know why? I think she's stronger. I think she's bigger. And if she does get to a top position, I think she finishes Lipski.
Mike Finch, you think she potentially finishes her off with ground and pound?
Elbows and wraps up a nice choke. Gatto's jiu-jitsu is pretty nasty. It's just that against Tracy Cortez, she played too much guard and she was a little loose with the technique. Some people, I don't know about Gatto, so I'm not trying to say this about her, but in general, some people train in the gi and they're under this dogma, this idea that like training the gi will make you more technical. Yeah, it'll make you more technical if you have a gi on. And so the way I saw her rolling, like the way she kept missing certain, it's like when you watch Mark Zuckerberg train. Did you watch Mark Zuckerberg and Lex Friedman? Did you see that?
I didn't watch it, no.
You didn't? Okay.
No.
Homework for everybody. There's a 12-minute video out there. Don't you dare leave this show, but after the show, a 12-minute video out there of Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
He's rolling with jiu-jitsu black belt Lex Friedman, who's come up like 3 times during this podcast for some reason. And it just shows you like he doesn't have a single technique down. Every technique has fat in it, right? Even a double leg on the fence, he's not putting a shoulder into the hip. He's not finishing the technique. Everything's got some fat in it. I saw a little bit of that with Gatto when she was playing guard against Tracy Cortez, where it looked like she wanted the gi. It's like you have to train no gi for MMA. You have to make sure you're doing leg curls and your knees are pinched tight when you're doing an arm bar because there's no fucking sleeve to hang on onto. Okay, I can't grab the girl's pants. She doesn't have any pants. So if Gato adjusted her jiu-jitsu, because it looked nasty before, AJ, if she's adjusted her training enough, I think she's significantly better on the ground than Lipski, and she's the stronger woman, I think, by a long shot.
By a long shot. Mike Finch. You know what else is a long shot? My savage fucking dono right here for us, bro.
Oh!
My guy, Moody, throwing the love, 1999. He says, what's good, fellas? Been watching the show for months, but never caught a live one. Hey, well, we're glad that you caught a live one. Wanted to drop in finally and add this because of the work put in every week, and I don't see many donations. Keep up the dope work. My guy, Monty, we appreciate the kind words. We appreciate the cash, and we appreciate your continued support, my man.
Dude, Moody, what am I looking at? Moody. You threw an N in there. You just helped him out. Monty. Moody, my dude. I really appreciate 1999. You couldn't give us the last penny, you cheap motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. Who's the last guy I roasted on the dono? He's like, go buy some drinks with this. Who was that? I forget his name.
Was it Bowman?
Sorry?
Was it Bowman?
Bowman, yes, Bowman. And then AJ tells me, he's like, hey, Bowman messaged me, man. You know, he said you were roasting him. Like, it's all love, guys. It's all love. I'm just joking around. 1999 helps. We do appreciate donations. That's a big one. Thank you.
Thank you, Moody. Much love, and we're glad you're tuning into the videos, brother. We appreciate your support. Now, back to this fight with Lipski and Gato. Mike Finch, I'm against you, man. I do think that Lipski can pull it off. Now, her switching gyms, her changing teams, there's some trouble. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Odds for the fight, listen, plus 180 for Lipski. She's a big dog. Minus 210 for Gato. I'm going dog. I'm going Lipski dog, man. Plus 180. Plus line.
I just hope Gato doesn't punch her in the face one time. Just please. That girl has a supermodel career after fighting. Okay, don't fuck it up for her, Melissa.
She's a fighter, man. She likes throwing down. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I respect it. I beyond respect it. That's awesome. But yeah, I saw her coming out of UFC Gym Huntington Beach. She smiles and waves. I'm like, oh my god, this girl's a cage fighter.
Mike, why didn't you introduce it to me? What's going on, bro?
You in Florida? You're gonna fucking
I was gonna fly out.
I've been trying to get AJ out to a Bellator event for forever. I can't even get AJ out to a fight.
I fly out for Lipski.
Sleep in my guest bedroom in my house. Still no fucking plane ticket booked, and I'm supposed to pitch you to Lipski in the one moment I have, looking at one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life, besides my beautiful wife. Come on, AJ. Come on.
Listen, that's my expectation, man. You know, I don't have.
You really think I'm a wingman, huh? Damn, bro.
Lipski for the win for me. Mike Finch going Gato, and maybe Lipski will be dropping a DM soon. We'll find out. We'll find out. Next fight, we got Max Griffin versus Michael Morales. My pick in this fight, I gotta go with the Morales side. I gotta go with the unbeaten prospect on the come up. It's not an easy fight against Max Griffin, though, because he's beaten a lot of good guys, and he's been in there with everybody. Good kickboxing game, pretty solid with his wrestling, too. Gas tank is there. I feel Morales is going to be able to meet him in the stand-up and match it and even exceed it a bit. When they tangle up, I don't think Max Griffin is going to have great offensive wrestling success, and I can see counters in the clinch and even trips by a Morales ending up on top. I think this is the biggest test for Morales, and it's a serious competition jump, like going from, taking on tough guy Adam Fugit to fighting Max Griffin, who's beaten, good names and has been in there with the likes of, Mike Perry, Tim Means, Neil Magny, Colby Covington. I could go all day. I'm going to still pick Michael Morales, though. I believe in this prospect at 14-0, but very difficult fight.
Yeah, difficult fight for him. I think it is a step up from his last one, but man, Max Payne Griffin probably just enough to get him to a decision. I do see Morales getting those takedowns. I do see Morales, let's say 29-28 decision. I do think he gets past this test. Interesting prospect. It'll be fun to see what he can do. If he does get a finish, that'd be a fucking statement, right? Max Payne Griffin's been looking good. But yeah, again, Max Payne Griffin, more of a gatekeeper level. I think he gets through the gate.
Dude, getting through the gate here. Like for me, beating Max Griffin is going to be a dynamite win for Morales. Obviously, to some fans that aren't as in the known, they see Max Griffin and they're like, "Who's this 19-9 guy?" I mean, he's 4-1 in his last 5. You look, he beat the likes of Carlos Condit and he beat Tim Means, a split loss to Magny. He's fought everybody: Alex Morono, Alex Oliveira. Holy shit, Thiago Alves, Curtis Melender, beat Mike Perry, lost to Zaleski. Like I look and it's like, damn, he's really fought everybody. Chidi and Jacowani outside of the UFC. I think that Morales gets past the very game Max Griffin because I feel like he's got a bright future in the sport, man.
Yeah, that's a good lineup too. It's really important to have all of that experience. We saw with Chepe Mariscal. Shout out to Chepe throwing down. We had the doggy dog on that one.
I fucked the pooch. I fucked the pooch on that one, man. I don't want to talk about it.
No, you did not switch.
You did not switch. I fucked up, man. That was
you did not switch your pick.
I flipped it after weigh-ins, bro. Moronville. I know.
What the fuck did you see at weigh-ins?
I don't know. Delusion. I was blindsided by Trevor Peak's goatee.
Bro, you had it. I had
it already, bro. I'm done flipping picks, man.
Oh, no. Okay, well, I had Chepe, and he came through for you guys, man. Chepe with the fucking phenomenal performance. Can we laugh about this? Okay, scroll up a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Dix Insider wakes up from his fucking nap, all right? And he goes, oh, my God, did I miss Finch picking Romanov? And then I have this is the greatest summary I have ever seen of one of my picks. Sean P., okay? Sean P. summarizes a 10-minute breakdown and just said, Finch said he's fat. That's perfect. Thank you for catching him up. I appreciate that.
That's beautiful.
Yes, Romanov, lock of the century, of course.
He picked Ivanov, just so you guys don't that haven't seen it yet. Don't think he's serious, man.
Chepe came through with the big W his UFC debut. Morales still young in the UFC right now. I think this is a nice step up for him. I think those wins outside of the UFC, just like Chepe had, right? Chepe had fought a lot of names outside of UFC. That makes a difference, man. It lets you know you belong. Morales belongs. He should get past a Payne Griffin.
Michael Morales minus 240. Max Griffin plus 205. Give me that Michael Morales side, baby. We're going Morales. We're believing in the prospect. Yeah. He's to get it done. Let's go. Let's keep running. Co-main event of the evening. We got Damir Ismagulov versus Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson is not my pick here. I'm going Ismagulov, man. I love the sniper jab. I love the fighting from range. And I see Mike Finch making a face over there. I'm very excited to hear what he has to say. I'm not impressed by Dawson's stand-up. I do like the ground skills. Does he get a hold of Ismagulov? Is he easily able to come inside? It's going to be hard, man. This is Grant Dawson's best opponent, period. And I think he's going to come up a little bit short. Ismagulov beating him on the judges' scorecards, man. I'm riding with him.
Grant Dawson was training with some world-class grapplers. I'm trying to remember who the fuck was he on the mat with. I just saw him training with some world-class grapplers. I know he's over there at ATT, and obviously they're getting him ready really well. I mean, ATT, just phenomenal team overall. How are you going to hate on anybody he's rolling with at ATT? But I saw him on the mat. It wasn't Craig Jones, was it? Who the hell was he rolling with? Where I thought, man, if he's training with high level guys in the no-gi game, and he's already that good, and he's at ATT, fuck, man, Ismagulov might have some problems. Before I drop this pick, let me say Ismagulov is a great striker, even though he does the twitch thing, whatever the twitch thing is, it doesn't bug him, AJ. If you notice, he could twitch and he could fucking pop, jab, cross you. So even though he has like a twitch thing he's got going on,
it makes him better.
I know people, I think they want to go get him. They see him twitch, they throw. He'll counter your ass. Like he doesn't hesitate, right? And so despite that, he's a great striker, a really, really good striker. His mobility is good. His ability on the fence is good. Guram Kutateladze tried to put it on him on the fence a little bit, and he got busted up a little bit there, but he won that fight. And I feel like he's very hard to take down. He had a really close fight in his last one. He lost, obviously. Hit me with the name. Why am I forgetting the name?
He lost to Arman Sarukian.
Arman Sarukian, of course. Arman Sarukian's like A level though. Arman Sarukian is gonna be getting a title shot at some point. Arman Sarukian's very, very high level. So for him to have a good fight with Arman Sarukian, no problem. But Grant Dawson was really impressive to me, dude. Grant Dawson's submission game is still underrated. I don't think people understand. He's bringing that 2023 jiu-jitsu. He's got a high-level game. He trains at one of the, if not the best teams in the world out there in Florida, at American Top Team. He's in his prime. I mean, Ismagulov took some time off, said he was done, right? I mean, are you liking the mental aspect of Ismagulov, AJ? Think he was saying it's a wrap for my career, and now he comes back against one of the top prospects. It's not like they're doing him any favors. They didn't give him an easy fight. Grant Dawson's a fucking problem. I think I got to go with even though the first round will be tough, even though this fight will be competitive, I think I got to go with a Grant Dawson rear naked strangle, brother.
Mike Finch, if Grant Dawson finishes this man off, his stock has jumped tenfold, doing something that, Arman Sarukian, the super prospect, couldn't do. I like Demir's jab, bro. He's got that educated sniper striking style, and his defense normally is extremely good with grappling. I know Grant Dawson's very strong when he gets into the floor, but I don't think he has the best double leg. I don't think he has, the greatest takedowns. He sometimes, to me, this doesn't look all that athletic with the way that he fights. Obviously, the technique is top tier. His hands are kind of mid. I would say the striking, the OV is the side, bro. Ismagulov, I got to go with my guy for the win here, man. I got to go OV.
I know you like the OVs, bro, but I mean, Grant Dawson is sort of coming into his prime, so that's why I'm going to be on the side of Dawson. You guys are freaking hilarious in the chat. Dixon Sider, after roasting me, I shouldn't even put you on, but I'll put you on again. It's not a Twitch. He says Ismagulov is just winking at women in the crowd. He has like 7 wives. That's awesome. And then yeah, people people liking my Dawson. I appreciate that.
They do like it.
I like it picking MMA. I do think that Dawson's a great grappler and that he just has to close the distance here. Look, he's getting boxed up on the outside. We'll agree. But at least at ATT, he's got some damn good sparring partners, AJ. You know who he's training with over there at ATT, the who's who in the UFC and Bellator. And I'm sure there's some PFL guys over there lurking. So that's a super gym. And I think that he'll walk in there with Ismagulov prepared, man.
Yeah. Listen, let's go. I'm excited to see it. Ismagulov and him is going to be a dog fight. As far as Nick Couture, he's throwing cash at us. My guy, thank you
Nick.
For 10. He says Morales pick of the week. Shout out from Worcester, Mass. Hey, I'll see you in Massachusetts. I'll be up in Massachusetts soon, my man. I'll be there on Thursday, bro. I won't be in Worcester though. But shout out to you over there, bro. Much love to Nick Couture showing us the love with the $10.
Thank you, Nick.
Same pick. We're on the pick too.
Go say hi to AJ for July 4th, bro. Please get him a drink with that 10. Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Let's go. Michael Bowman, my guy, throwing 20 at us. Bowman's back, baby. Mike Finch.
There he is.
Mike Finch. What do you tell Bowman you're just playing with him? Tell him you're
all right. Bowman, he actually included the last penny too. So we got a $19.99. Now Bowman comes through, step out of the way, tops it. Mr. Bowman, I can actually buy a complete drink with that. And yes, the tip will be decent too. Thank you, Mr. Bowman.
Michael Bowman, my brother. Thank you for the donos as always, homie. We appreciate you a ton. As far as the odds for the Ismagulov versus Dawson fight, we got -130 for Damir Ismagulov, Grant Dawson at +111. I'm riding the Ismagulov side. It actually just came to even money. Now it's -110 Ismagulov. Still, you get slight plus on Dawson. Dawson, ever so slight. The dog, they just flipped again. It's even money now. This line might flip the other way. We might see Dawson as the favorite. Mike Finch on Dawson. I'm on Ismagulov. I think we're going distance, but I don't love the over at -220. Mike, if you do pull off sub with Grant Dawson, it's +400, just to note that off.
Strangle.
You got him strangling him.
Strangle.
If he strangles him, holy shit, that'd be crazy.
Ground, bro. Admit it. He's a dog on the ground.
He's a dog on the listen. He's a real dog on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mark Begley throwing another 10, man. My guy, Mark.
Is this the best dono day we've had? Are you guys feeling generous around the holidays?
We
appreciate it, guys. I'm going to get my USA stuff out here. I'm starting to feel patriotic and shit. I'm going to have myself a good July 4th. I think I got to get some fireworks for wifey at this point. Thank you, Mark.
Let's go. Listen, Mark, my guy, we appreciate you a ton. Ismagulov is where I'm riding with. But listen, I understand and I respect the side of Grant Dawson. And I respect you picking Grant Dawson, my guy. Let's go, champ. You know what time it is now? It's main event time. We got Sean Strickland versus Abus Magomedov. Mike Finch, I've been picking Sean Strickland to pull this one off against Abus Magomedov. I think that Abus is incredible. He's got great striking, but ultimately we haven't seen him tested inside of the octagon, inside of the UFC waters. Sean Strickland, split decision with Cannonier that now has aged incredibly well, ultimately lost, but he had a great performance being competitive with Cannonier. I mean, it was a subpar fight, entertainment-wise, but competitiveness was there. Then he put it on Imavov in a competitive bout. I feel as though this is another competitive one that Sean Strickland's toughness definitely can carry him through. I think Magomedov moves extraordinarily well, but when he does look to mix takedowns in, I think he will be pleasantly surprised with the resistance by Sean Strickland, because honestly, Sean Strickland's one of the more underrated grapplers in the game. He loves stand-up, and he, pretty much is a majority kickboxer, but Sean Strickland can mix it up on the floor. I think that Magomedov wins the first round. Strickland does start finding shots, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and I'm saying 48, 47, 49, 46. I think Strickland gets him on the judges' cards, my man. I'm fading the OV in the main.
AJ's picking against the OV?
Yeah.
What is going on? If AJ's picking against the OV, he means that shit. You know what, AJ? I was watching Sean Strickland training. He was sparring two guys. He was sparring, I believe it was Chris Curtis, which is crazy that he's in the gym already, and another guy, I guess a PFL guy. Dude, he looks ripped. Sean Strickland looks lean. He looks ripped up for this fight. So I like seeing that. I like seeing Sean getting the work in the gym. He's such a big star over there at Extreme Couture. It feels like he's always the talk of the room, and that I'm sure he's getting a lot of attention from coaches and training partners alike. Just getting better, dude. Just getting better and better. So I think I like Sean Strickland here too. Look, it's tough to figure out what Magomedov really brings in the UFC, because we've only seen him just a little bit, right? He hit that nice front kick to the face, and I know the UFC put that fight up for free on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It's a nice performance, but most of his work was done in PFL. Most of his work was done against fighters that we haven't really seen Sean Strickland fight, or common matchups to look at. So you really just got to look style for style. I think it's just another Sean Strickland boxing match, dude. He needs to use the takedown defense, which he does have. And it's a 5-round fight. Sean just was there. He's been there before with the 5-round fight. He's been in this spot, and Abus hasn't. So a good fight, not one I'm personally betting on. I respect you guys if you want to go Abus, but I'm doubling up with AJ on the main event, brother. Give me Strickland. Give me decision.
Strickland by decision. We're on the same side. The money line is minus 170 for Magomedov, plus 145. He is the dog here. As far as decision win for Sean Strickland is where you'll find some juice at plus 225. I've seen people talk about they think Strickland's going to get chinned early by Abus. Honestly, Abus had like one of those breakout debut performances, but if you do look back to him in PFL, I mean, he's having competitive fights. A name that comes to mind, Sabi Dusi, he did win a decision against, and he obviously trains with Sean Strickland, so the camp has been aware of Abus Magomedov. It's not like he just came out of nowhere. There's guys at PFL, they're at Extreme Couture, and have faced off with Magomedov. I feel like this is Sean Strickland experience factor really coming into light too in his style. I think that Sean's going to get the respect he deserves here. He said it himself. He thinks he's one of the best strikers in the world, and obviously got crushed when he fought against Alex Pereira, but Abus is not. He spars him now. He's training with him. He's willing to put himself in a spot to be hurt against somebody who slept him brutally. That type of mentality too goes a long way. Sean Strickland has no break in him, and Abus Magomedov is going to need to flatline him to stop him, and I just don't think he's going to have it. I think Magomedov potentially slows late. I think when the wrestling is halted, when he's forced to strike, and then especially when Strickland is able to find the boxing range, Magomedov's going to be getting hit. I'm not saying that he's going to not like it and bail out the fight and quit, but I think Sean Strickland does put it on him.
Yeah, I think Sean Strickland puts the striking on him, man. I think you're absolutely right.
Mm.
And decision is a good one for this one. Do you like the over?
The over is sitting at what? Over 3.5 minus 140. I think there's a real chance of the over. There's a real chance.
All right.
You got a dono in the chat too, my man.
Oh my God, we got to keep the dominoes going. Let's go.
Squeebs, my guy. I was going to say Squeeby Z. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. Let's call you Squeebs. We got to say thank you. Shout out to you, bro. He says, shout out to you, fellas. Thanks for the picks and solid info on these fights. Look forward to it every single week. Hell yeah, bro. Much love. We appreciate the 10, brother.
We do. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much, Squeebs. Dude, you realize you are just putting icing on top of icing for us because we don't usually get this many donos. You guys are feeling generous. We appreciate that so much, man. You're just topping off a great day. So we appreciate that. I wanted to show you guys something. I saw Dixon saying that he got that Magomedov got knocked out by Bilal's cornerman. That's me training with that guy. That's Lewis Taylor right there. That's me working out with Lewis Taylor. Lewis Taylor is Bilal's wrestling coach, and Bilal Muhammad also has him as a great training partner. I mean, he's in his early 40s, but he did win the entire tournament, got the $1 million over there after that Magomedov knockout for PFL. So he gets trickled that money all the time, man. He's a millionaire from that knockout. So, I remember, working out with him a little bit and feeling his power. No shame in getting slept by Lewis Taylor. I know you guys are looking like, what, 42? He got knocked out by a 42-year-old. Trust me, Lewis Taylor hits like a truck, man. So, no shame in that. In this game, you have to accept that at some point you could get slept. I mean, the best of all have been slept. Anderson Silva has been slept. I mean, give me the names. Muhammad Ali. I don't care what sport. Right. Combat sports, that's what you risk. One knockout does not make the fighter, man. So you really look at the bigger body of work. I think this is a good fight. It's probably a close fight. And AJ and I are in a similar place on it, man.
Let's go. MMA Jesus 420 with the $1.99. He says Mag round 1 KO. Mike Finch, he's going against us, man. He's going.
Damn. And you know what? MMA Jesus, you had a decent week last week, right? He had the Onama knockout and he had the Macy Barber knockout. So shout out to Jesus.
Shout out.
Congratulations, man. And did we get another dono after MMA Jesus?
We got our guy Falconer Strickland been training with Alex Poetan with the $2 Canadian. Yeah, he's training with Poetan. He's putting himself in the fire with an absolute freak. So I got
heard what he said?
Respect. What?
He's like, Alex Pahea. He's like sparring with him. That dude is all offense, no defense. He's like, you could just punch that guy in the face. All he's gonna do is punch you back. So probably getting a little bit more confidence just sparring with Poetan, man. Kind of getting a feel for the top of the division there. One of the best strikers in the world, and Sean's putting in rounds with him. Just more reason to think Strickland. Yeah. Thank you, Falcon.
Our guy Falconer. We appreciate you a ton. We're going Sean Strickland in the main event. Both of us slight favorite. I'm fading out the OV in the main. You guys know it's a rare thing. And I said on the Fight Companion, I said an OV is guaranteed to win this card. Well, lucky there's two OVs facing off with one another, so that's 100% bet. You know what I'm
saying? Fair enough. Hey, you pick Strickland, bro.
Let's go. I'm going Strickland. You're going Strickland. We're Team Strickland for the win this weekend. And you know what time it is, Mike Finch? It's lock of the night. UFC Vegas 76 lock of the night. Mike Finch, we're looking to bring the fire. Last week, you had a real close one. You decided to go value over everything, and you threw down on a savage prop that looked like it was about a hit with Ilia Topuria by knockout. Unfortunately, Josh Emmett is made out of steel and goes the distance. I don't know how. That's crazy. Mine was Justin Tafa. We got a no contest, which is unfortunate, but ultimately, at the very least, snaps a losing skid. So now I'm back at that even. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got a fresh slate. I feel my swagger's back. I feel back to my usual self, guys.
Right. Yeah, you're back, AJ. Come on, man. We're just gonna be smooth sailing now. Look, my picks hit. I mean, Tatsuya Taira, Clayton Rodriguez just didn't happen. I obviously, I obviously picked that knockout in the main event, which fucked me over. So we'll get it right this time. Look, I'm going to have you guys money line as usual because that's just what hits at a high clip. The issue with this card is I like some favorites, bro. So to be honest, my favorite 3 picks, which I'll all throw in the parlay, are all, you know, kind of heavy. So I hate giving out a lock that's not like, you know, almost even money because somebody's going to hate that. So can I go out on a limb for this lock? Can I?
You do whatever Mike
on the
Finch
tree
desires, bro.
I'm going out on the limb. I'm saying turn on, you know, the UFC live with, is it, you know what? No. AJ's your commentator. Forget who's on the mic. AJ's your commentator for watching the weigh-ins on Friday. Okay. Sit down, watch those live weigh-ins, and you watch if Romanov's fat ass waddles up there and he weighs in at 265 again. I say he's a bust. I say go with the underdog Blagoy Ivanov because I have never seen in modern UFC somebody actually quit like we saw a Romanov do, where a guy has all this potential and literally doesn't seem to train for a fight. Talk about a red flag. You know, I saw Dixon just posting those red flags about A-Bus getting knocked out by Bilal Muhammad's wrestling coach. Here's a red flag. Fat, not trained Romanov. If he weighs in at 265, my lock of the night is going to be Blagoy Ivanov, and just money line him because he's dog money.
Holy shit. Mike Finch going savage dog in this one. I know you got a safer parlay coming up. Well, before I give mine, I got to read off the dono in chat. Nick Couture with the 10. He says, Jamie says, put the house on Morales plus Kutateladze parlay. Hey, respect, bro. Listen, we picked both of those guys, and I think they both got a real chance of coming through. And you know what, Nick Couture? I'm looking here at dog money too, Mike Finch. And you know what's funny? As soon as you said it, I said, no way. We're on the same one. Blagoy Ivanov, dog lock. I got to go Blagoy. A man that can get stabbed, fight his way through, right? And keep coming throughout a career. Yeah. That's a guy that I want to have money on against someone that broke in his last fight and got killed. Got broken down in a minute. And now you got combat sambo background, someone that beat Fedor. Is he going to get bullied on the ground by Romanov? Maybe in the first round, Romanov, and then he's gassed. Juan Espino showed resistance to Romanov, and as Espino was going to win that fight. Unfortunately, it was a technical decision. I feel as though Romanov in that fight against Espino, we probably should have jumped at some more red flags, but the weight was more on point. At 265, he doesn't have that second gear. He can't dig deeper. I think Ivanov is the lock, with one little asterisk to it if Romanov is not 235. If Romanov shows up with a 4-pack 235 post-weigh-in, I might have to talk about something different. But if we're getting the Romanov that we got last time out, which from his social media seems like the Romanov that we got, I'm going with Blagoy Ivanov. We're going dog money. We're riding the same side, Mike.
We're going dog money. Michael Bowman says, I'm repping for Weight Watchers for heavyweights. That's what I'm saying. Hilarious. Watch that fucking weight. If that weight is too high, you cannot deny. You got to go Blagoy Ivanov, man.
Let's go. Let's go. Weight watch the weigh-ins on Friday. Ivanov, our pick. Let's jump into, though, Mike Finch, the safe section now, the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallet and let's bet on money. I should say that. I should say, let's go make some fucking money. It's cash.
Time. I got a triple parlay and this shit's gonna hit for me.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
All right. The parlay of the night, which, let's be honest, folks, these are the ones I'm betting on, okay? These are the ones I like. I really think that Guram Kutateladze is going to blow the doors off. I think he's much better. I do think he gets this. Just money line him. Let's put that up with our man, Bonfim. He is a problem. He is a knockout artist, but even if he doesn't get the knockout, we can money line him because I'm going to put a third up there. I think Kevin Lee's in trouble. I got Fakhretdinov, I got Bonfim, and I got Guram Kutateladze in the triple threat.
Mike Finch throwing the triple threat parlay out there. Holy shit. I like this call, Mike, and I like that you're on the side of high likelihood, I'm looking here and seeing if I would change anything. I feel like this one is like a surefire knockout. This looks like the knock it out the park type play, Mike Finch, with this 3-fighter play. Guram, Bonfim, Renat, Fakhretdinov at plus 138. That's some good plus money. And now Mark Begley threw us another 20. I got to bring him up. My guy, Mark Begley, showing some more love. Enjoy your show. Respect your picks. However, I donate mainly because you two are great and down-to-earth guys. Well, we love to hear it, man. At the end of the day, we like to bring authenticity, man. We're just ourselves hanging out, talking about some fucking violence. You know, what better way to spend our Monday nights?
Thank you so much, Mark. That means a lot, man. Did we miss Nick Couture? Did you get him?
I believe, yeah, we got him. We got him last. Yeah, we
got him last. All right,
yeah, I
Nick
did.
Couture, double thank you, because I saw the Jamie says put the house on Morales and Kutateladze parlay. Thank you. Appreciate the 10 as well. You guys have been very generous today. All right, I appreciate you.
Let's go. We appreciate you.
What's AJ's parlay?
Mike, I'm actually disappointed because like I feel like I don't have anything exciting to bring. Like yours kind of holds together well. 3 of the most high confident picks on the card that I think are like surefire cashers. How do I mess with perfection, Mike Finch? Like I'll throw a little bit of value maybe to if I want to say, listen, let's attack even line. I don't even want to do that though, man. I don't feel like I can mess with his perfection, bro. Guram,
tell the people what you're betting, bro.
You know, dude, I was throwing down on this parlay right here, but I also love the under 1.5 in the Brito fight. So if I was to add to that, I'd add that. But right now, I'm not seeing it here. I guess I can fantasize and get a line close to it. If you also have Brito under, which I think is a surefire hitter, now you have Guram, Bonfim, Fakhretdinov, and the Brito under, you're at plus 240. So I think there's a high likelihood of this one, man. I feel like if I want to go, like half of me wants to bring it off, though. I got to bring the fucking dog v dog type parlay. And if you go Blagoy, Ivanov, and you ride them with the up-and-coming Ruziboev, and you also throw Fakhretdinov, you got plus 640. But you're going against our guy Finch's pick on Bruno Ferreira, but that's just some heat value that I think you can ride. Some V's at the end of the names besides the main event for that one right there that I like a lot.
Whoa, those odds are sexy though, right? Yeah. When you start seeing those plus 6, plus 7,
it's dangerous.
Like, oh,
it's dangerous. It's where it leads you to degeneracy, man. Because then
I know you don't hit those too often. Shout out to my buddy Stone Dax who hit that plus 1,000 parlay one time. You know, sometimes it happens, and those are amazing times. You know, my buddy Tawab told me, he's like, "Nah, man, I'm doing this whatever it was 4-leg, 5-leg parlay." He's like, because if it hits, I want a night I'll never forget. He was in Las Vegas betting cash. He's like, I want a night I'll never forget. That's a different mindset for me. I just want to see a W. I just want to get the cash back. That's why I got the 3 heavy favorites. Put them together. You got plus money. And I think you'll walk out of there with some, folks. Let's make some fucking cash. I appreciate you guys donating your cash this week. Very, very kind of you guys. Please remember, next week, AJ is going from Florida to Massachusetts. Man, he wants to be in the old colonies. He wants to be in the original colonies for July 4th. He wants to feel the history. All right? He's not in some shit we stole. I'm over here in California. All the names like Spanish, you know, fucking everything. You know, I'm going to Santa Ana. We say Santa Ana because we're terrible and we can't say the language. So AJ's in the original colonies, man. Massachusetts, bro. Enjoy yourself. Just remember, we will see you guys on Thursday. Normal time, Thursday next week.
Normal time, Thursday. If you're an OG, you know we used to do the show on Thursday. It's just a one-off. Then we're back with our normal Monday Moneyline madness. And we also got another dono in the chat. Wavy throwing us $9.99, rather 2 $9.99s. He's throwing us $20, $19.98. Really, my guy throwing out the love on the same numbers as my birth year. So I appreciate the $19.98. Much love.
Is that you were born in 99?
98.
98.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 98. I'm a 98 kid.
I'm old as fuck. That's crazy. All right.
Wavy, we appreciate the hell out of you.
Wavy.
Thank you. Big W's to Wavy in the chat. Much love to everybody watching. Joe Dirt with kind words. He says another top tier production as always. Hell yeah. We appreciate you all, man. You guys are tremendous. We love the show. We love the picks. We hope you guys do too. Mike Finch and I both see a lot of the betting side similar this week. I mean, we love Ivanov to win as long as Romanov is not shredded. You know what I'm saying? If he's not, well, shredded for him is 31% body fat. If he's at 40 or more, count me out. You know what I'm saying?
He's never been shredded in his life, AJ. There's no fucking shredded, bro. There's no shredded for him, dude.
That's funny.
It's fat or damn fat. You know what I'm saying?
It's fat or damn fat. Well, if he's damn fat, you know it's game over. Wow, it seems like I'm your daughter was born in 98, Mike Clavel. Hey, listen, man, it's a beautiful year to have a kid, and I'm glad me and your daughter share the birth year. It's the birth year of savagery, you know? Don F was 4 when I finished high school. That's funny as hell. I was 4 when you finished high school. Holy shit. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying, man. I'm glad you guys got me. I was born at the perfect time, man. Just old enough to do this thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't realize actually AJ's the exact same age as my younger sisters. That really puts shit into perspective, bro. That's nuts.
That's funny.
I'm 30. I'm a 92 baby.
That's a beautiful year.
I've been
man.
around this mother. Me and Michael Bowman been around this motherfucker.
Let's go. My guy. Tomorrow is your birthday. I got you. JJM MMA. Happy early birthday. Hope you have a blast tomorrow. And hope you enjoy the hell out of this weekend. You guys know Saturday, there's no fight companion. I'm sorry. I can't hold it down. I'll be out of town, but I'll be back bringing the fire the following week. Don't you worry about a thing. Much love, people. We appreciate the hell out of you. Mike Finch, you all right?
Please tell me that you're commentating the weigh-ins.
The weigh-ins, of course, man.
Perfect.
I never skip
this entire show.
Yeah.
You have to do the weigh-in.
Oh, yeah. The weigh-in show is going to be an on-the-road weigh-in show. Don't worry. I'll still be doing it. And I got UFC 290 picks. So I might drop them on Saturday or a little bit early. I'm already, getting my notes in for 290, getting everything started. So I'm looking forward to that one. And big things coming on the channel. Fun card this weekend. More content. Tomorrow I'll be live. Probably doing a late night live show tomorrow. I'm going to give you guys the late night live experience on a Tuesday for the simple fact that, I'm not going to be in town Thursday, so it won't be Thursday. I like to bring the heat with that. And then Q&A it up for a while after. And then Wednesday, this week's Best MMA Bets, as always, Friday, the weigh-in recap show. And yeah, like I said, the 290 picks are dropping. The only thing that's missing really this week is the fight companion, but it's back for 290 with a pay-per-view. I got to get my one-off week to come back with fire for, plenty of consistent weeks of action that are coming for the rest of the year.
I like it, man. You're making me feel like I need to do a fight companion this Saturday. Are we doing it? I don't know. I got a party to go to. We'll see what's up. But,
right.
Everybody's partying here. It's July 4th coming up.
Yes,
so we got to
exactly,
get it done.
man.
You guys will see me in my red, white, and blue on Thursday, okay?
Let's go. Mike Finch, my brother, I appreciate you coming through and enjoying and throwing some dope picks as you always do. People, we appreciate you. Give Mike.
We appreciate you guys. You guys were
Yeah.
awesome today. The most fun I've had seeing the cash flow, and I think I'm getting a steak dinner tonight. I don't know.
Let's go, Mike Finch. I expect you to get a medium rare, my friend. Let's go. Thank you all. Peace, guys. Peace, Mike. See you all in the next one.